Trump does have a legal team for the impeachment. He's lost them periodically, but he always finds some more. But waiting in the wings, we have a volunteer who wants to be tribute or whatever for that. We've got Matt Gaetz saying that he would be willing to resign his congressional seat in order to defend President Donald Trump in the upcoming impeachment trial, which instantly many people, including US Representative Brendan Boyle, said, I strongly support my colleague Matt Gaetz doing this. He said this on Stephen Bannon's radio show, that he would give up his position as an elected congressman so that he could argue for Donald Trump in his impeachment trial. Yasmin, what do you think?
I would love nothing more than for him to follow through on his promise to do so. And who is afraid of him taking this step? Like he's not that popular with the other members of Congress to begin with. I don't think even like some Senate or House Republicans would argue that he should stay, and it's kind of weird to see all these lawmakers still being so loyal to this ex-president who was impeached twice, just in the name of potentially saving their political careers or getting some kind of traction from the Trump supporters going forward. It's really kind of sad. Now would be the time to pivot if they were going to. Otherwise, just go. You can go. It's fine.
Yeah. And look, I know he would be replaced by some other crazy Republican, so it's not like the seat would flip to the Democrats or anything. That said, he's awful, and he's not just awful in the constant, like nobody licks a boot like Matt Gaetz. I don't know, there's a lot of them. Lindsey Graham licks boots pretty well, but no, Matt Gaetz can take the tread off of a boot. But anyway, he's also terrible. Like he was the guy who was joking about the pandemic in the first days and still thinks it's a joke. He was joking around Christmas, hundreds of thousands of Americans dead. He thinks it's hilarious. I do have to say though, I think it makes sense that he would do this, or at least he would say this, because again, saying something and doing it are very different things. And sometimes you can get all of the benefit of a thing by saying it and not have to do it. Like when I agree to do social events and then they get canceled, score one for Johnny. I promised, I get all the credit. I didn't have to actually go. It's great. And he's potentially doing that. So when he says, absolutely, if the president called me and wanted me to go defend him on the floor of the Senate, that would be the top priority in my life. I would leave my house seat. I would leave my home. I would leave my family. He didn't actually say that, but he probably will. He said that the cancellation of the Trump presidency and the Trump movement is one of the biggest threats to his district. No, it's not. Your district is gonna be underwater in a couple of decades, dude. And I love that you went to that photo of him. But anyway, everything's cancellation. That Newsmax host that couldn't find his McFish this morning, he was canceled. The McFish was canceled. Look under your seat. You're all canceled. It just means everything. But like whether he has to do it or not, like if he wants to run for president or whatever, let's say, it's amazing to think about. What better thing could he do than this as a Republican? Like, it's not like the Republican voters want him to pass legislation that improves their life or whatever. That's a joke. He just has to be the one that licked Trump's boots the best. And this is the most bootlicking you can fit into the current political situation. So Matt Gaetz, bravo, and you remain a tool.
Yeah, it's kind of a gamble for him too. Who knows what's gonna happen with Trump's base in the years to come, Maybe they will dissolve, as we're kind of already seeing starting to happen. There's a lot of QAnon people who have kind of seen the light in recent days since the insurrection and since Trump has been silenced on Twitter and things like that. And I am interested. I guess only time will tell in this case how that plays out for them. But I'm not optimistic that this is going to work out in Matt Gaetz's favor, and I am okay with that.
I think you might be right. There is a chance that it could dissolve, or that he could set up his own party, which would sort of move it over. I think though that it's still a pretty safe bet. I think that the party is still not super likely. And even if it just naturally sorts of fades away, I doubt that we'll get to the point where Republican voters will look back and be mad at people for having been pro-Trump in their party. So I think it's a pretty safe bet. Especially, again, if you don't have to actually do it. If you're just offering to do it on Steve Bannon's show,
Yeah, and
Anyway.
Republicans, they value loyalty and they don't care if you follow through on anything that you say you will do. So I guess, yeah, you're right. It is kind of could work out to be a win-win for him.
100%. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.